Hello friends, this is Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing tonight? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. And I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm doing good and I'm going to share a flip through of this journal with you. I've got a little kind of ephemera folder here which I'll share after the flip through, but this is my design team project for May for Studio 28E. And I used Sherry's Butterflies and Flowers digital kit. Super pretty, so I won't have you stare at this bow for too long. Let me turn it over. This is just a wraparound of the same fabric that I used on the inside of the journal, and you'll see that in just a second. And I used some on the paper clips too, which you see sticking out here. And this fabric I also used inside the journal. So let me just show you. This is a really pretty kind of, I think it's a vintage, and I'm actually sure it's vintage fabric eyelet that I received in Happy Mail from a friend a while ago, and it's just really beautiful, and I loved it for the spring. And it went with, there's a couple of orangey type butterflies here, and it just kind of really went with this digital kit, so that's why I used it. So this was a page from the digital kit, and I had printed the digital kit on really nice resume paper, so it almost feels like fabric, even though it's not. But it is zigzag stitched around. I have a piece of the fabric here on the spine to strengthen the spine. It's sewn on all the way, around. And here's the back again with the butterflies, and it's sewn around. So as we open up, you will see, and I know you've seen quite a bit of this already if you've been watching my videos on my progress, but I use it on the inside of the cover here, front, all the way through the front, covers the whole inside of the cover. And then I have a pocket which is sewn together on both sides, front and back, and very pretty. You can see the little scallops on this side. And then I have a tag from the kit that or a journal card from the kit that I had said that I printed out an extra page on cardstock and cut it up and made journaling cards and tags and things. So that is what that is, with the pretty butterflies and dragonflies. And then the first page, just a really pretty page from the kit. So I won't say, when you see pretty flowers and butterflies, you'll know that page is from the kit. So I won't say that every time and drive you crazy. But yeah, that was, and this one, there's several with, I printed it front and back. Sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I just coffee dye the back and, leave it blank and like coffee dyed color and just print on the front. This journal I printed on front and back. So like I tried to print lines. It probably didn't work out on every page, but I tried to print like a blanker page, if that's a word, blanker. And this one has lines, but that's just so you'd have, a pretty page to work with, and then something to write on or put or do what you want with, type of thing. So here's some ledger paper which I had fussy cut a couple of these dragonflies from the pages from the kit, and so I put one right there. I just thought that was pretty on the ledger paper, maybe kind of unexpected to have a dragonfly on your ledger paper, but there you go. And then here is a pretty floral picture, and that one does have lines on the back. And then this is a pretty dragonfly here, dragonflies and butterflies. On the back I have sewn on a belly band, and this is a journal card. All of my journal, like ephemera mostly, is printed on file folder. So it's file folder color on the back, and then, the pretty nests on the front. And then I put, this is two pieces. This was a belly band and a little piece of ephemera from the kit that I sewed together and made a nice little belly band there. So the belly band is also on cardstock, so it's nice and strong and sewn on. And then here's a piece of graph paper, which I put a little pretty little butterfly down here in the corner. And a couple of the little butterflies are right there too. So cute. And this is another beautiful page. And then another bunch of beautiful butterflies. And again, right here. And here's the first paper clip right there. Some of that pretty eyelet fabric. Here on this page, it had a lot of blank space. But I did put a little pocket right here, and I made it a sideways pocket with one of the tags. And this is some pretty like light blue like eyelash trim, but it's kind of glittery too. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it's not glitter, it's just kind of sparkly. So really pretty. File folder on the back. And that goes right in there in that little pocket. And then here's another little pretty floral piece from the kit that I fussy cut and put on this piece of graph paper here. And also a couple little butterflies right there. Lines. And then this was one of the envelopes that I sewed on. And if you remember, if you watch my videos, I said I had made these little envelopes. And this one, somehow it got glue inside so that the envelope was kind of glued together, so I couldn't put anything inside. So I left the flap up so you can see it is an envelope with a cute little butterfly sewn on, and I just made it into a corner tuck here with a couple of pieces of, pretty ephemera from the kit. That's a drilling card. And this is a tag, and I did have some paper tags too. I had a few. I think I accidentally printed out one of the ephemera pages on that resume paper, so I went ahead and used those. They were just, I didn't have any place to glue them down, so I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and make them into some little tags. And I put a piece of pretty green yarn on there. I thought I love this yarn, and I just had a big spool of it. If you didn't see that video, that I need to try to use some. So I have it right here behind me. If you didn't see it, if you've ever bought yarn, you probably had a lot of extra if you weren't making a big blanket or something. So I said, I got to use some of this. I don't want it just to sit here and be wasted, So there's some pretty lines here. And this was printed on, the resume paper. So it's kind of like, was a beige color. So that's what this is. Plenty of room here to do what you want. But here's also a little corner tuck, which has a pretty little piece from the kit. And a second little piece, this is a little piece from the kit too. So cute, right? And that's in there. Then this was a music page, and I had this piece. I was trying to figure out what to do with it. I love blending like the pieces with like the graph paper and the ledger paper and the music paper. This was coffee dyed music paper. And, it was from a, a music book. And then I put a little belly band here as a side tuck, and it actually goes all the way through. So you could like hang something on there if you wanted to kind of hang an envelope, like say you wanted to hang this on there. You kind of could hang it like this and put the flap like that, or however you wanted to do it. I had it just tucked in like this. You can tuck something in like that. So just, several ways you can do that. And then I put a piece of purple lace on top of the belly band too. It really blends in, so it almost looks like it's a part of it, but there is actually a piece of purple lace on top of the belly band there. So we'll go on. This was a line page, and I just put a little silk flower with a little pearl, like the half little pearl stickers. That's what that is right there. So cute. I want to do something different for me anyway. I don't use too many silk flowers, and I have bought a couple bunches that I'm meaning to use, and I just, haven't done it. So there you go. I finally used one. So I used this little belly band. There were several belly bands in here. I didn't want to waste them, so I made this one into a little pocket piece, little drawing card there. And this was one of the paper tags, but it's so pretty, and put some pretty eyelash trim on there. So cute. And then here's another paper clip here with some of this pretty kind of flowery fabric, and it had butterflies on it too. That's another reason I used it. You can see one right there. There's a little butterfly right there on that one. So this fabric has butterflies and flowers on it also. And then next page is a lined page where I also used an envelope here. Put a piece of that purple lace on the flap. That's the flap there. And then a tag right here. So that just tucks in there nicely. This was a butterfly page where I used some of those beads, sticker beads, like they're half beads, right here along to trim that page. And then next page is these two I trimmed with. This one has the purple lace, and this one has the fabric, which is wrapped around. So I just cut a piece like it's pinky sheared here, straight here, just wrapped it around and sewed it on. So it would have a pretty, something to trim it, and then just on the go. Here's that same fabric that I used here. I had the two little squares that I cut out and they're under this piece from the kit, which has a butterfly on it. And then I just did a little collage with the fabric and the little ephemera piece there. And then let's see, just beautiful page here. This one has beautiful colors on it. That's from the kit too. Lines on the back. Some ledger paper here with purple lace trim on this side. Here's another blank page from the kit, and then pretty, this is the center. So here I used matching wax cord. You can see it kind of matches the fabric, if you can see that. And then I had these two butterfly charms, but the middle piece where you put something through it, it's like you could fit probably like the little head pins that you make bead dangles out of. You could probably fit that through here, but I didn't want to put that much metal on hanging from here, so I used some safety pins, and just these little butterflies fit on the fit on the safety pins. They wouldn't fit over the string. I couldn't get there's no way you can get a string through there. But so I put the butterflies on safety pins and then hung the safety pins from the two strings. So that was how I got around that challenge. So then on the back here is like a divider card that you use in recipe books. And I sewed it on as a pocket. And then in here is a journaling card that has a piece of that fabric sewn on as a tab right there, see? And then it just tucks in there as a little card. And then on the card, I had sewn a little, this was from a seed catalog that I recently ordered during the spring. At the first, break of spring, like March 1st, I saw an advertisement on Facebook for a free seed catalog, and in fact I ended up getting two, not from the same company. I got one from two different companies, so I ended up with two. Anyway, I cut, this one had a bunch of really cute and pretty seed packets in it, so I cut them all out. I've got a bunch of them cut out, and I sewed one right on this card, this divider card, before I sewed it onto the page. So here's a purple lace on the ledger card. And there's more pretty pages here. We're on the back half. There's lots of pages in here. I don't remember how many. I have it in the listing. This was a piece from the kit that I wanted to use. Didn't want to waste it. And I actually just kind of made a tab, but doesn't stick out. I folded it in half and just, made a little fold over so it decorates this side and this side of the page. I thought that was really pretty. Here's another piece of that fabric that's folded over the page and sewn on. This one has pinking sheer on both sides. That little kind of zigzag design. And another paper clip here. And then pretty pages here. Here I did a little fabric flip, but this is the one I cut out and then added extra coffee dye paper underneath. So you've got that extra journaling room. And then it's it's all sewn together and sewn onto this lined page here. So on we go with some more pretty pages. Here's a tuck spot here where I sewed on a belly band together with purple laces on the belly band, and then I used a little piece from the kit and sewed that on also, this little circle piece here. And so you've got like a double tuck spot here. So like there's one here behind the belly band, and then there's one here under the circle. And that goes all the way through, like you could put something just up or down, all the way down to the bottom of the page or whatever you want. Just kind of, having fun with those tuck spots. And actually, let's see, I thought I had another piece in here. But anyway, the belly band, I folded over the bottom of this page. So there's actually a little corner tuck right here, so you can tuck something right in there. And then also here, I used I had a tiny strip of cardstock, and I decided to make little teeny tiny tags out of it. I mean, those are tiny, right? And I had this word sing sitting here on my table from this music that I used in here as a page. I had cut the title off because I needed to, cut it down to fit. And so I cut the word sing off, put it right here on this little tab, or tag. It's actually in a tag shape, and then there's two of them they're fastened on here with a brad, which you can see on this side. And then, so they move. They're not glued down. They're just on there with a brad. They can move around, but they actually will hold a little tag or a journaling card right up under there. So I thought that was pretty handy. And then, so on the bottom of this music page, I had a piece of blue and white little gingham here fabric that I put under this, ephemera piece. Just, the blue butterfly, and it just all went together really well. And then another belly band, I did something different here. I used it as kind of a corner tuck. So you can see, like, when you put a card in, it goes through. You can see it through the bottom. And then a little pretty little butterfly there from the kit. So you've got a journaling card, 2 journaling cards here tucked in there. So as you turn the page, pretty page with lines and another belly band. I told you there was a lot of belly bands in here, right? I tried to use them all. But this one is on here, sewn on again with a pretty butterfly decoration in the middle. And then I had 2 journaling cards in here. So that one and this pretty piece here, tucked under there. And then some lines, some graph paper with a little dragonfly again here that I had fussy cut. Believe me, that is not easy to cut out that little tail. But it was fun. I enjoyed the results, you know what I mean? So here's another little piece from the kit. That was a scallop square. I folded it in half. Again, used it as a fold over decoration kind of. So when you fold it over, it took the focus away from the whole piece. And then you got a little butterfly on this side. And you got some little hummingbirds on this side, which I thought worked out very well. So more pretty pages here. Another little paper clip. And some more pieces from the kit here. Again, fold over. A little scallop circle there with a butterfly on it. And this was a little tuck spot that's sewn on. Little tuck spot or corner pocket. Here is a pretty tag from the kit. And an envelope. And I think I put something in here. I think I put some coffee dyed paper in here. Yes, I did. This is my lace coffee stained paper. It's got a little lace doily design on it, so that's special because I don't have too much of that. I haven't done much of that. And on with some more pretty pages, lines. I decorated this ledger paper with a flower there, a little butterfly up here on the ledger paper, lines here. This is the last page, and then in the back little corner or side tuck here, a journaling card and a tag. There's some more of that pretty sparkly blue eyelash trim there. So that is the journal. Total fun, beautiful kit to work with. And you can see the size of this is the cutest thing ever. I think anyway. I love these little journals like this. It's 4 inches wide. Everything's in my Etsy as far as measurement, number of pages, all that kind of stuff. About 6.5 inches long there. So the little ephemera kit, I made this because I had extra ephemera. Not a whole lot, but a little bit extra. I really couldn't see how kind of like chunky this is. I just didn't feel like I could put any more in here. So this is a pretty little file. I have a bunch of decorative file folders. And so I cut this one up. This is some of that pretty eyelash trim, kind of like a cream or light beige color. And I put this pretty sparkly purple washi here as a decoration. It went well with this. It's got a lot of purples and pinks and yellows, pretty springy colors. And just made a little folder. I've got 2 pockets here. They're sewn together. And you can kind of see I put all the extra little pieces of ephemera in here from the kit. There's like 4, what is it? There's a bunch. See, I couldn't get all this in the journal. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces on this side. Oh, there's more in there. See, that's 7 pieces on this side. See, I told you I had a bunch, right? And then on this side, I've got 1. Oops, see, there's more down in there. There's another piece. Can you come out? Can you come out for me? Yes, there it is. A little butterfly. So, yeah, I just put it all in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, a little circle. This one I made into a tag. with some eyelash trim. But that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cute little tags, aren't they? Put some of my green yarn on there. This one has the blue sparkly. So what was that? 8 pieces on this side. So like 7 and 8, 15 pieces. You can see why I couldn't get it all in there, right? I mean, I could have stuffed it in there, but I didn't want to just over bulk it up, right? It's already bulked up enough. And then, so this will also come with a little surprise packet of goodies, but this is just to, you know, have a place for all of this extra pieces. And it comes with this long piece of eyelash trim, which you can use for whatever, you know, it doesn't actually have to have a closure, but this was what I used for the closure on here. And the fun thing about this, as a reminder, I've said it every time I make an ephemera out of any kind of, ephemera folder out of any kind of cardstock like this. This can be a journal cover if you're into making journals. Just add some pages and you have yourself another little journal with pockets already made and sewn in. So I think that's pretty cool. That's probably what I would do if I bought this. But there you go. And so this is already in my shop. I have total fun making every journal I make. So I know I always say that, but it was a blast. And I'm off to work on my cookbook journals. I would really like to finish those, but I keep doing things to them. So they'll be done hopefully this next few days. And I'll be back to also share the beginnings of my design team project for Shabby Dabby Doodle for May. So I will see you then. Everyone have an awesome weekend, even though we're still staying at home. And I will see you next time. Thank you and happy crafting.